Hello, English 2, Miss Monaco here. Here is your lesson on vague language in your writing. I have posted on Google Classroom, you will see a document that is a vague language document that you want to avoid from now on in your writing. But today I want to walk you through some options for how to make your writing more direct. You are fortunate that you do not have to experience this lesson in real time in person because this lesson usually turns into a total Monaco rant and tangent. But hey, you get to learn from home today, so let's rock out. So, vague language. What is vague language? Vague language is language that is unclear or general in writing. Your examples on your vague word sign include words like anything, people, things, something good, bad, back then, a lot, kind of, everything, basically anybody. It's somewhat, somehow, very, really big, little, sort of, stuff, kind of. So there are other vague words other than these, but these are the words I often see in your writing. So why? You always need to know your why, right? Like, why should you avoid these words in your writing? So you want to avoid vague language because vague language makes you sound less intelligent, like you are unsure of what you are writing about, thus making you less credible as the writer. Embrace ethos, right? You want to be a credible source, a writer, and you want to sound as if you are the expert of your writing. And direct language makes you sound as such. So always fake it until you make it in life as well. So, how can you take vague language and make your writing sound more specific and direct for your reader? So let's go through some examples, and this video will have to probably stop and then I'll start a new video in a moment. So for the word thing, consider this. Well, what are you referring to in your essay when you say thing or things? And I'll put an apostrophe, or rather an S in parentheses here, because a lot of times I see things plural. So do you mean activities? Do you mean situations? Do you mean problems? Do you mean conflicts? So thing can be anything, right? So you need to specifically refer to what you are talking about in your essay. In your current essays about corrupt leaders and propaganda, right, you may lean more toward problems, conflicts, propaganda tools, even obstacles. Again, though, it depends on what you're writing about. So I can't always just give you what the thing means because, well, what things are you referring to? So you have to go back and figure that out. Back then, one of the classiest examples I see in your writing. Okay, so when you say back then, what are you referring to? You know, do you mean in the 1950s, the early 1900s? Do you mean the Cold War? Do you mean the Russian Revolution? Etc. You have to specifically refer back to the time period that you're referring to or the time frame. Again, it doesn't have to be an exact date. So it can be something like early 1900s if that's what you're referring to, or the 1950s if you're referring to when George Orwell wrote Animal Farm or wrote 1984. But you have to state the time you are referring to. Let's go to good and bad. Okay, this is an easy one. Positive, negative. Boom, drop mic. People. I have seen this over and over and over again in your writing, and in formal writing, people is too vague. So let's pause here on people. I'm going to stop this video and then record my next one. So we're going to pick up from right here.